Hey family, I think it is really hard for us to look at our life if we're not where we want to be. And then we look at someone else's life and we compare our life to their life, right? Maybe we feel like we should have more money than we do, or we should be further along in life than we are. Maybe we feel like we should have a family or kids or a marriage or a better career. It's so easy to look at social media and compare ourselves to other people that have what we think we want, right? But sometimes when you look back in your life, family, hindsight being 2020, aren't you happy that you didn't get the thing that you thought you wanted in the past? Aren't you happy that that relationship with that person didn't work out, that that situation with that job didn't work out? Family, everything that you want is ahead of you. Everything that you want is in front of you, waiting for you, family. And one of the things I realize about life is a lot of it is a test. And the way I do things, I say, you know what? I am a scientist. My life is a science experiment. So I observe my life, the decisions and the choices I make, the places that I choose to be in, the people that I choose to surround myself with. And instead of making comparisons, I take all that energy back, because I've done it before and compared myself to people and things, but I take all that energy back and I put that energy within myself. And that's energy for me to heal, energy for me to grow, energy for me to become a better person, right? Energy for me to look at my life and make some tweaks and right those wrongs. How many of us know people that are in relationships where they're not that happy, right? Or in careers where maybe they make a lot of money, but they're miserable. They're losing their time, right? So sometimes not having what you want and not being where you deem you want to be is an unfair advantage to you, because it gives you an opportunity to do the things in your life to get to where you need to be. It gives you the opportunity to get closer to following your dreams and your goals. And things are never, ever falling apart, family. They are always falling together. They are. I used to look at rejection as a bad thing. Oh man, this relationship didn't work out, or this person didn't want me, or they didn't choose me for this team, or they didn't choose me for this job or this career or that situation. And then I realized rejection is protection. It really is. Hindsight being 2020, rejection is protection, family. Because how many doors have closed on us? When we look back, we are happy that that door closed, or we are happy that we didn't get the thing that we thought we wanted, that we prayed for, right? There is always greater waiting ahead of us. And we are one decision away from becoming that person that we've always wanted to be, right? And when you love yourself and you feel worthy and you love all of life, you create an equal, you create that career, you generate that wealth and that income. Everything good is coming to you. The hard part is believing it and staying encouraged. And that's why it's such a good practice in the morning. Before you get out of your bed, you have a morning ritual, whether that is prayer, you sitting, meditating, something that's keeping your mind, organizing your thoughts, and making your day better than it was before. Because true change happens when you decide that you're going to make a different decision than you did the day before. Family, when people leave your life, when things don't work out, when they reject you, family, know that something better is always waiting. And your time is coming. Your season is coming. Do not give up. Your season is coming, family. You are the chosen one. Always remember that. And don't let anyone make you feel like you are lesser than who you are. Stay inspired. Hey, family. It is such a good practice every day to take a little bit of time out of your day to work on your self-identity, right? Your identity, what you feel about yourself, how you view yourself, what you think of yourself. It matters, family. A lot of times we move about as if we're common. We walk around as if we're average. And and I don't say this to be arrogant. I don't say this with an air of me thinking I'm superior or better. But what I will say is when you are above average, right? When you are chosen, when you are called to do something great, you're not average. Because you're walking a different walk. You're talking a different talk. You're taking a different path than the average person does. There is nothing common about you. Nothing. There is nothing common about a phenomenal person. So when you are working on yourself, your personal development, your identity, becoming a better version of who you are, you have to understand that you are not common. You're uncommon, family. You're uncommon. And that comes with loving yourself, increasing yourself, believing in your self-worth, understanding and knowing that you are somebody, that you are here on this earth to live a good life. That you deserve to be happy, that you deserve to have all the things that you want in your life. When we are working on ourselves, we have to learn to trust Love ourselves, right? Be good to ourselves, be gracious, patient, and kind. Work on our identity, the things we tell ourselves, how we talk to ourselves, how we allow people to treat us, right? And when you think about your heart, this is what I always say. Your heart has a door, right? It has a door. It opens and closes. And we are the ones that allow what we want to come in our lives and what we do not want in our lives, because our heart has a door. It has a key that we unlock and we close when we want, right? And we're having to guard our hearts and to guard our minds and to understand and know that we are worthy of something greater and something better. We're not common. There's nothing common about you. Nothing. You are here on this earth above ground. There are many people that are not here, right? You have an opportunity and another chance at another day to be great and to do something great. There's nothing common about you. And it's time, family, for us to take our seats, right, on our thrones and become the highest and best version of ourselves that we know that we can be, because we are not common. Average is the enemy. And there's nothing average about you, family. And I need you to know that. And I need you to believe that as you go on about your day. Know and understand that you are great and you are called to do something great because you are chosen. Just something to think about, family. Stay inspired. Hey, family, how many times in our lives have we said that we're done with something and we go right back to it, right? Whether that's a person, a behavior, a pattern. How many times have we done this, right? And I know I have. And maybe you can look at your life and say, man, there's something in my life that I've done. And I said I was done and I've gone back to. And family, I want to encourage you. You know, I remember asking my brother a question. And I was like, yo, should I be done with this situation? And he was like, no. And I said, why not? And he said, because you asked. Because when a person is done with something, they don't have to ask. And I say that to say, family, you know when you're done with something. You know when you're done with someone. And when you get to that season of being done, you're done. Look back over your life on all the things that you were done with, right? And then you'd be able to agree with me. You just get to that point where you're done. And I remember, family, being in a season, I was so stagnant. I was like, yo, it's not working out for me. Things don't seem to be coming together. Everything was so going and growing. I'm trying to be patient, you know what I mean, in this season. And it just felt like things weren't working out. And family, I realized I had to get to that point mentally in my mind where I wanted to be done. And I was so sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I said to myself, I said, Nicole, I'm done. I'm done being broke. I'm done not having what I want to have. I'm done not being obedient. I'm done not living in accordance to law that I was done, right? I was done being frustrated and done being stagnant and done not being where I wanted to be and done with not being who I wanted to be. I was done with past patterns, I literally was done. And when you get to that point in your life, family, when you are done, right? When you get to that point in your life where you are done, that is the point where you start to die to your old self and do the things that take you to that new version of the person you want to be. It is a whole entire process, because when I was truly done with the thing, I literally woke up and decided that I now wanted to become someone new. And no one made me do it. I didn't read a manual on how to do it. I woke up and decided that I was done. Have you guys ever had a season where you woke up and decided you were done? And when you get to that point, family, that point of decision, that point of concrete decision that you want to be a better version of yourself and you want to be someone new and you want to do some things new so that you can move towards a new self so that you can have the new life that you're deciding to have, that's when you're truly done. We've been there. That's when you're done. And we can use a relationship, for example. You've been dealing with a person. Maybe, she wasn't great to you. Maybe he wasn't good to you. Whatever the situation was for you. And you decided in your mind that you were done. And you said you were done before, but you were really done this time. And you know you're really done this time because you don't have to ask anyone. You just feel it. It's a feeling state. You're done. And you start to do the things every single day to become that better version of yourself every single day. And we have to be intentional about the things that we want to be done with, right? I wanted to be done with past patterns, old ways, negative thought processes. I was over it. I wanted to be done. And I started doing the things that made me feel like this new version of myself. that I started doing and acting as if and thinking like a newer version of myself, and things started changing for me. And it didn't happen overnight, and it didn't happen right away, but it happened in time, and it happened in the right time, and it will happen in the right time for you, family. But you have to get to that point where you realize and stick to what you mean. You're done. You're done. You want something different. You want someone different. You've weighed out the pros and the cons. You're making moves in a time that's right for you and your family or whatever your life situation is. And you're doing all the things that you need to do to take you to the places that you need to be so that you can continue to have good personal development and continue to work on yourself and continue to be the best version of yourself. You're done. You're done. I'll wait, right? Think about your life. Think about situations in your life where you were done. I will wait. Because we all have those situations in our lives that we could think about like, man, I remember that defining moment in my life where I made up my mind that I no longer wanted that thing, where I made up my mind that I no longer wanted to be that person, where I made up my mind that I wanted to be the better version of myself every single day. The time you made up your mind where you no longer wanted to go back there. You made up your mind that you wanted to move forward, onward and onward, and you were going to do whatever it took to get to where you needed to go, no matter how hard it was. When the obstacles come, no matter how much obstacles came, you were going to do the things you needed to do to be that better version of yourselves. When you're done, you're done. When you're not seeing the results in your life that you're looking for, when you're not becoming that person in your life that you're wanting to become, when things are not working out for you, when you're done with the thing, you know you're done. And your life starts reflecting the fact that you're done, because now you're moving forward, you're moving onward, you're moving onward, and you're done. Right? And you don't need someone to tell you that you're done. You don't need anyone to tell you what to do. You know you're done because you made it up in your mind. You just woke up one day and you got to that point. Something just clicked. You were done. And you can do just like I did, family. I sat down and I wrote down every single thing on a piece of paper that I was done with. And I wrote it out. And I looked at that piece of paper. I prayed over that piece of paper. I balled it up. I threw it away, and I became the newer version of myself. And I stuck to it. And when I found myself falling back into old patterns, falling back into past ways, past behaviors, possibly dealing with or commingling with individuals that I no longer wanted in my life, I snapped myself back into reality and got right back on my new Nicole train. And you can do the same thing. When you're done, you're done. You're done living in lack. You're done being broke. You're done not being happy. You're done being frustrated. It's time to move forward to that new and better version of yourself, that new and better version that you know you are called to be, that new and better version that if you had a choice to become that person today, you would. It's time to move forward, family, because that higher self, that higher version of self is waiting for you on the other side of fear, on the other side of frustration, on the other side of procrastination, on the other side of failure. That person who you are is waiting for you. And all you have to do is come out of your comfort zone. And I know that that is hard. I know it's hard. I know it's hard to heal from something that we believe was for us, that we believe would never have left us. But if it was for us, it would still be with us. I know it's hard when we're switching careers, when our life dynamic changes midway in our lives. I know it's hard. But when we go outside of that comfort zone and when we decide to become that new and better version of ourselves that we know we're called to be, we do the things that we need to do to get to where we need to be. We're done. We're done. We don't have to wait for a new year to be done. We can be done right now. We can make the decision right now. You can get a piece of paper and a pen right now. You can write down on there the old patterns, bad habits, ways about yourself, things you need to change, and you can work on making those changes right now. And you can do things that are best for you in your life, in your time right now, family. You don't have to wait. You can make the change now. And when you're done living in lack, when you're done doing the things that you know no longer serve you and the people around you who love you, when you are done, you will be done, family. When you're done, you're done. And you start becoming that new version of yourself. And you start to do things different. And you start to see the world different, because when you change the way you see things, the things around you change. And you're done living in lack. And you're done not attracting the things to you. And now you start becoming the vortex of creation, because now you start attracting all good things to you. Now you do. Now you're becoming that better version of yourself. You're sounding differently. You're sounding different. You're looking different. You're moving different. Your walk is different because you're chosen, right? Your atmosphere is different. Your energy is different. Your environment is different. Everything about you screams new because you're done. And when you're done and you fully become that new version of self, you're going to look back on your life. And you're going to thank yourself for being, what did Snoop Dogg say? I want to thank me for me. I want to thank me for, you're going to thank yourself for this new version of self that you have become and that you are continuing to become. And you're going to look back on your old self and you're going to feel sad for your old self, because you're going to realize, wow, that was me. And you're going to wish that you made the decision to do what you're doing. Now you're going to wish you made it sooner. But we know that all things work for our good and everything happens for us in the right time. So family, when you're done and you're done, everything in your life is going to reflect you being done. The people around you, your environment, your work situations, everything is going to reflect this new version of self, because you are truly going to be done. And you're going to be proud of yourself, because you're no longer living in lack. You're no longer living in bondage. When obstacles come, you know how to move your way out of them freely. When challenges come, you know how to stay the course, because you're done. And you're taking the time to work on yourself, to become a better version of yourself every single day, every single time. And you're not looking back. You're only moving forward, because every single thing that you need is forward. Every single thing that you need is in front of you. It is not behind you, because you're done with the past and you're moving forward to a new future, and you're becoming this new version of self, and you're sticking to this new version of self, and no one is going to throw you off your track. Just something to think about, family. Stay inspired. Hey family, so we've all had those moments where we wake up and we feel so stagnant. Like, what should I do? You have so much on your plate that you have to do, so many things you need to get accomplished, but because there is so much, you just stop and freeze, right? You don't know how to prioritize. And if you do know how to prioritize, you're not wanting to do that right now. And you just want to chill. And sometimes in those moments, family, we get discouraged, where we feel like, man, nothing is happening in my life. Nothing is working out for me. Everything that I'm doing, I'm not seeing the results I'm looking for. And I want to encourage you, family, and let you know, when it feels like nothing is happening, that's when every single thing is happening behind the scenes. When it feels like nothing is happening is when every single thing is happening behind the scenes. And I know it, family, because it happened in my life. So many seasons where I felt like, man, what am I going to do? This is not working out for me, right? I invested money here in this business and I'm not seeing results. I invested time here in this relationship and I'm not seeing results. And sometimes, family, I learned that if we're working on something and it is not working, right? When we feel like we're working on something and it's not working, know that it's working. It's working because it's either working on us or it's working for us. And I realized that sometimes things don't happen in the time we want it to happen. It doesn't come as quickly as we want it to come. And so for me, I'm a gardener, right? So when I go outside, I plant plants in the ground. And sometimes I'm so anxious for the new growth. I'm so anxious to see, what's going, is it going to grow? Did I plant it correctly? Did I get it good soil? Am I watering it appropriately? And I watch it and I see no growth. But it's the times that I just chill, right? Trust, walk away from it, but continue to water it, continue to do the things that I know is supposed to make the plant grow. It comes in its own time. And I say that to say, family, that everything that you're working on, everything you're working on in this season is coming to you at the right time. And it's not going to delay. It's going to come to you at the right time. So all the effort you're putting into the thing that you're working on, all the energy that you're putting forth towards someone or something, it's working for your good. And it's all going to come to you in the right season. Always, right? So many of us, we're in school We're out of school, we're working, we want a healthy relationship, we want to build a business, whatever season we're in our lives, trust and know that every single thing that you want wants you. And every single thing that you're working hard towards is coming to you very soon, very soon. And I know it doesn't feel like that when we feel like we're just working in vain, when we feel like we're doing the same thing over and over, when we feel like this time last year and this time next year, we're the same person. But know, trust, and believe every single thing that you want is coming your way. And you have to trust that. You have to, family. Because so many of us start good, right? And we don't finish well. We start and we don't finish because what we don't realize is in order for us to get the thing that we want, to obtain that person that we want, to do the thing that we want, we, in most cases, cannot do it we cannot do it being the current version of ourselves. We can't do it being the current version of ourselves. We have to become that new and different person so that we can obtain that new and different thing for our lives. We have to work on ourselves, become a better version of ourselves, do new things in our lives to obtain new things in our lives. And a lot of us quit so quickly. We quit so easily because in our minds, it's not working. I tried it. I put a lot of time towards it. It's not working. It takes two. And everything is right. But when we argue for our limitations, we get to keep them every time. So I always say, when you're moving towards becoming a better person, and when you're moving towards doing a new thing in your life, that takes a new version of you to obtain those new things. And when it feels like nothing is happening, that's when every single thing is happening behind the scenes. Because behind the scenes, you're doing the work. You're becoming that better person. You're becoming a new version of yourself that can obtain the new thing that you want. And whether you've been in a situation where you had a breakup, whether you've been in a situation where you had a career change or a career loss, trust and know that that new version of yourself is moving towards that new thing in your life that you want. And all you have to do is to continue to do the work. What I say earlier, when I'm, looking at my plants every day, waiting for them to grow and I'm not seeing growth, I'm not going to stop watering them. So I'm going to continue to water my plants and continue to do the things that I know I need to do for my garden, in my garden, in hopes that one day I'm going to see the growth I'm looking for. Because I'm not going to give up on my seed, and I'm not going to give up on the investment that I made, and I'm not going to break the promises that I made to myself that I want different and more in my life. And family, how many promises have you made to yourselves that you've broken? How many promises have you made to yourself that you were going to do something different, start something different, become a new and better person, and you have not accomplished that? So we are in a season, family, when it feels like nothing is happening, we have to understand and know that's when everything is happening behind the scenes. And you're working hard behind the scenes to become that person that you know you aspire to be. And everything in your life that you want wants you, and you have to believe it. Sometimes you have to go in your mind and manifest, close your eyes and see yourself and see the life that you want for yourself and see it long enough until you believe it. You have to, family, because we can't keep living in a familiar past because we have a predictable future, because every single thing that we're doing every day is creating a new day for us. That's Groundhog Day. And we're no longer creating the same day every single day, hoping and wishing for change when we're not doing the things to create new days in our lives. So ask yourself, family, what are the seeds that I'm watering? What are the seeds that I put in the ground that I gave up on that I should continue watering? What are some of the things that I need to continue to do while I'm waiting for this growth process to work on myself and work on myself internally to become that better version of myself so that I can then attract the things that I want and own the things that I want? Family, at the end of the day, like I always say, we have to do the work because it's either working on us or it's working for us, but it's still working. We have to do the work. And just because we plant something and we're not seeing seeds right away, just because we put something in the ground and we're not seeing growth right away, does not mean it's not working. It just means it needs a little bit more time. So let's start making the investment in ourselves, the investment in our personal development, becoming new and different people so that we can have new and better, so that we can do more for ourselves, for our families, for our communities, right? For our God, for whatever it is that we have in our lives, that we have fiduciary responsibility over. Let's do better. And one of the things I do is I take a piece of paper and a pen and I write, whether they're ideas, goals, fears, I write, because that helps me to stay inspired. That helps me to move forward to a future that I cannot see, but that I have seen first in my mind, so that I can overcome this old self and become a new self. And the seeds that I planted in the ground that I feel like are not growing or is not working, I can revisit those seeds if need be. But I can trust to know that everything is working for my good and everything is happening in the time that it's supposed to. And when it feels like nothing is happening, that's when everything is happening behind the scenes, because I learned, family, that success is slow cooked. It's slow cooked. It doesn't always happen right away. And a lot of times when we see individuals, on television or people that we know in our lives, we think that it just came so easy for them, but that is not the case. Because we do not see the behind the scenes work that happens. We do not see the things that is being done behind the scenes in secret in the dark, so that a person can become that version of themselves that they need to be. So I'm going to ask you again, family, what seeds have you planted? What seeds are you planting? Are you watering your seeds? And while you're waiting for that new growth, what are some of the things you're doing in the meantime? What are the things you're doing in the meantime that is allowing you to work on yourself, to become a better version of yourself? Because while you are chasing a new success, chasing this new version of self, becoming different and better, what are some of the old habits? What are some of the old ways that you're doing away with so you can accomplish some of these goals, right? So that you can grow some of these seeds that you're putting in the ground. And you may not see the growth right away, but you know that the growth is coming. What are some of the things that you're doing to put yourself in position and in a better position to obtain more, to have more, so that you can do more in your life and in the lives of others? Because when it feels like nothing is happening, that is when every single thing is happening behind the scenes. Your new growth, your new life, all the changes, everything you're wanting in your life, everything you're looking for in your life, it's all coming to you. Because at that point, you are the vortex of creation. It's all coming to you. But it cannot come to you if you are not that version of self that can receive it. It can't come to you if you're that version of yourself that can't be it. And like I said earlier, it's either working for you or it's working on you. And either way, it's working. And similar to me gardening, putting that water in the ground, putting them plants in the ground, that seed, doing all the things I needed to do, waiting for it to grow, all I can do is create the good condition and hope that it grows. So let's create these good conditions within ourselves. Let's create these good conditions for ourselves. Let's create these healthy environments for our life, right? Let's start to do the things that we know we need to do to see the change that we know we need to see in our lives. Because when it feels like nothing is happening, that's when every single thing is happening behind the scenes. It doesn't matter what people say. It doesn't matter what's going on around you per se. What matters is what's going on within you, so that you can then affect the change and affect everything going on around you. You're planting good seed, family. You're continuing to water your seed, and you're doing the things it needs to do to get you where you need to be. And understand and know that when it feels like nothing is happening, that's when every single thing is happening behind the scenes. Stay inspired. Hey, family. A lot of times when we're looking on social media, right, or on TV or elsewhere, we see individuals that are successful. They got the cars, right? They have the houses, they have the money. And it appears, right, that their life is easy. It appears that it is easy to get that success that they have. But one of the lessons I learned, family, is just because something looks easy doesn't mean it is. And I realized that a lot of times on social media, there is this false expectation set that success can be slow, that success can come overnight. And that's not the case. Because the truth is, when you have a false reality of something, sometimes you can have a false expectation of it too. So I want to share with you some of the lessons I learned via the mistakes that I made that can help you have more realistic reality and a realistic approach to what success really is and how you can have it in time. Lesson number 1 that I learned: delayed gratification is a good thing, family. Delayed gratification is a good thing. Sometimes we see people, again, they have the house, they have the car, they have that thing that you deem yourself that you want. But what we don't realize is we don't know what they did behind the scenes to get what they have. We don't know the things that they had to do to get to where they are. So there's a lot of behind the scenes work that goes into being that highest and best version of yourself. There's a lot of behind the scenes work, a lot of long nights, a lot of long days for you to become that person that you're wanting to be. And I really wish that the people who do these social media videos, right, or who are living this life, I wish they would talk a lot more about the struggles that they encountered, the years that it took, the losses that they took. Like, it's real out here. And it doesn't always happen so quickly, and it doesn't always happen so easily. The second lesson that I learned is mental toughness. That's a real thing, but that is a skill that's learned. Mental toughness. When you're going against the grain, family, when you're wanting to do something new and different with your life, right? When you're deciding to change your life, that doesn't happen overnight. And for the sheer fact of you wanting to do something different, people are going to criticize you, talk about you, come up against you. They always have something to say. Listen, when it comes to being an entrepreneur, being your new self, being a better version of self, you have to find a way to quiet the noise. Because if you don't, it can take you down. People say some very hurtful things, right? And not just in comments, but they say hurtful things in your real life. And when you're moving towards being a better version of yourself, when you're moving up towards that great thing, you have to exercise mental toughness. Because if you don't, people's comments could take you down. A third lesson that I learned is that success can be replicated, just not that easily, right? Sometimes the same people we criticize or that we judge or that we talk about, if we walked a day in their shoes, I don't know if it would be that easy for us, right? Like, I always give people grace, people who are very critical, or sometimes you're living the life that people want to live, and you're doing the things that people want to do, but for whatever reason, they don't believe that they can do it. So I understand, family, that when you look at a person and they make success look so easy, sometimes when we try to replicate it, we realize it's not that easy and that it takes time. It takes time, patience, energy, sacrifice, skill. Like, it takes a lot, right? Hey, family, I want to thank you so much for watching my content, because I really do care about personal development and the growth of all of us. I'm asking you, if you're able to, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my page. More good things are to come. Stay inspired. And sometimes when we go out there to try to get that success, right? To try to do the things that we see the other person doing, and when we can't replicate it, right? Sometimes it makes us want to quit. But that's because success takes time, and you have to put in the work. You have to put in the work. But no one really tells us that. So just because something looks easy does not mean that it always is. I learned so many of these lessons on my way, and I heard this quote, and it said, you can learn wisdom two ways, through your mistakes or your mentors. And I can honestly say I've learned wisdom through my mistakes. I've learned wisdom through my mentors, but through it all, I learned wisdom while I was moving forward. Because you have to do the work, no one can do it for you, right? When you're moving forward to being a leader, when you're moving forward to being an entrepreneur, when you're moving forward to becoming that highest and best version of yourself, only you can do the work. People can help you, people can guide you, people can lead you, but you make the decision that you want to be someone different. And you make the decision that you want to do something different, because only you can do the work. Only you can put in the work for you, for yourself. No one can force you to do it. And that's why I say instant gratification is okay. That's when you're waiting for your blessings to come, that they don't come overnight, and they don't come so soon, and they don't come so quickly, but you're waiting for your blessings to come because you know that they'll come. They're just not coming today, right? For some of us, maybe our blessings do come today, but I have found that when you are patient for a thing, when you work hard on obtaining a thing and having a thing, when you wait, that thing that you waited for stays in your life a very long time. So you're not rushing to get where you need to get, right? You understand that delayed gratification is a good thing, that you're working hard to getting where you need to be, and that all the things that you want are going to come to you and stay in your life. So delayed gratification, that's a lesson I learned. Mental toughness, that's a lesson I learned. And really understanding that while we can be successful, it doesn't always come so easy. Just something to think about, family. On your journey to becoming your best self, your better self, and while you're putting in the work, know that it takes time. Stay inspired. Hey, family, you don't have to wait until a new year. You don't have to wait another day. Family, One of the lessons that I learned is that it doesn't matter what a person tries to do to you. It's all working for your good. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they say about you, what they try to do to you. It's all working for your good. All you have to do is keep moving forward. That's all you have to do. And they won't see you, but they'll see you. They'll see you when you get to that place of success. They'll see you when you get to that mountaintop. You have to learn how to quiet out the noise. Quiet noise. Because at the end of the day, your future is greater than anything you're dealing with. Your future is greater than anything that anyone is saying about you negatively. True, false, or indifferent. It doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter because it can't matter. Because while you are on your way to greatness, there is nothing that's going to stop you. While you are on your way to greatness, we're not looking backwards. We're moving forwards. Because every single thing that you need is in front of you. Every single thing that you're aspiring to become, that you're working hard for you, your family, your community, your culture, every single thing that you need is ahead of you, family. And we can't allow the distractions to come. And I heard Myron Golden say this, and he was like, there's an appointing, and there's an anointing. And between the appointing and the anointing, there's always some sort of distraction. So family, on your way to greatness, trust, know, and believe that the obstacles will come. The distractions will come, the negative energy will come, the people will come, but at the end of the day, none of that is going to stop us. It may slow you down, it might cause you to pause, but none of it is going to stop you from becoming that best version of yourself. It doesn't matter what they think. It doesn't matter what they say, because at the end of the day, it matters what you think and what you say about yourself. And we are not going to allow anybody to throw us off course, take us off course, and take us where we don't need to be. Because our future is brighter than anything that people are trying to put us through right now. This is your season. It's your season, family. You don't have to wait till a new year. You can do it now. You can declare and decree to yourself that this is your season. And in this season, family, you need no distractions. It is your season. Because the work is going to take for you to become a better version of yourself. The work is going to take for you to become better. The effort you're putting in, the time that you're putting in, the patience, the diligence, the accountability, the responsibility. You do not have time to lose your head in this season. And right now, you have to continue moving forward because you've been called to do something so much greater than where you stand now. And in order to be that new version of yourself, you have to become somebody new. And we can't become somebody new focusing on the things people say about us, focusing on what do they say, what do they think, what do they write, it doesn't matter because it can't matter. Because at the end of the day, they won't see you, but they'll see you. Trust and believe it, family. They're all watching. Every last one of them, they are all watching. So give them a show. Give them a show. Put yourself on. Continue moving forward, becoming that best version of yourself that does not worry about what a person's saying about them, but is moving forward in their future. Because when you come out of that comfort zone that they're stuck in, when you come out of that comfort zone, that's when you have a new life. You attract new things and new people and new environments doing better things and bigger things than you've ever done. And you become that version of yourself that you know you've always desired to become. It doesn't matter what they think, family. We're moving forward, onward, and onward. Stay inspired. Hey, family. Sometimes people can discourage you on your road to success. I'm going to share this story with y'all. It happened a couple years ago. Well, more than a couple years ago, probably like 20 years ago, because I'm 41 now. And this happened when I was 21. So I was in school, right, in college, taking a course. It was very hard. It was an IT course. And so I ended up getting a 69.5 as my final grade. A 69.5 is a D. And in order to pass the class, you have to get a C or higher. So I get this 69.5 and I'm like, okay, I'm feeling away. I'm sad, but I need this grade to graduate, right? To graduate so that I can go to my final year, my senior year of college. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to go to the teacher. I'm going to have a conversation with her, you know what I mean? And it's going to be that. Maybe she can help me. So I go to her and, you know what I mean? I'm like, hey, I have a 69.5 in this class. I'm wanting to know if you can round up my grade because I heard that she rounded up some grades for other students. That she did. She just didn't do it for me. So I was asking her, I was like, yo, can you please round up my grade from a 69.5 to a, 70 so that I can get a C so that I can move, forward in my courses. So she looks at me and she's like, Nicole, I'm not rounding up your grade. I'm sorry that you got a D in my class, but you got the grade that you deserve. So I start crying. I'm sad. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to spend hundreds of thousands, well, not hundreds of thousands, but thousands more dollars to do another semester to retake this course, right? So I'm crying. So she reaches for a box of tissues and I'm thinking to myself, okay, she's gonna take this tissue and give it to me to wipe my tears. She takes the tissues, she blows her nose, and she says, is there anything else that you need from me, Nicole? Y'all, I was so devastated. I was so sad. And I was like, no, ma'am, that's all I needed. And she said to me, she said, I look forward to seeing you next semester in my class. So y'all, I took this lady's class over. I end up getting a B in the class, and then I end up moving on with my life. But one of the lessons I learned is this: no one has to do you any favors. Yes, it would have been very nice if she rounded up my grade and gave me a C. Yes, that would have been wonderful, but I learned a lot of lessons in that. And I realized, yes, it takes us to move. Yes, she gave other people the good grade. Yes, she rounded up their grades, and for whatever reason, she just didn't like me. But when you are chosen, family, when you are chosen to do something great, when you're chosen to do something new and different with your life, people are going to come up against you. And when people have an opportunity to help you, they don't always help you. And I learned that the hard way. And I realized instead of putting the blame on them, she was right. One of the hardest lessons I learned, I got the grade that I deserve. And then I had to make a choice. Do I want to redo her class so that I can move forward with my life, or drop out and stop there? And I say that to say, family, there are so many things in our lives where we can stop right there. So many moments in our life where we can make the decision that we want to move forward or want to stay. So many things that happen to chosen ones that are unfair, right? That we don't deserve, that shouldn't have happened to us or for us. But the reality is it happened, and we have to make a choice. And I remember in that conversation that I had with her when I was crying, she was like, you know what, Nicole? I don't think IT is for you. She said, IT is not your thing. She said, you are a great communicator. You should have majored in communications, not IT. And I just cried and cried. But lesson learned, she was right. IT, it was absolutely not my thing. I did it. I made a career out of it. I was successful in it. But my heart and my passion was always communication, always public speaking, always motivating, always leading. So the lesson that I also learned is sometimes, whether we like people or not, they can see the traits in you. They can see the areas where you're strong, areas that you cannot see. So with so many lessons I learned in that time period in my life, family, that made me the person that I am today, that brought me to where I am today. And I learned and I realized and I honor the fact that I don't have false expectations. And I learn and know that life is unfair, that yes, people have the opportunity to do something nice for us and something good for us, but they don't have to. And we can't be mad at them. We have to move about our lives, move on with our lives, and find a way to become that person that we always wanted to be. So don't let what a person says discourage you. Don't let when they hold you back actually hold you back. Trust and know, family, that you're on your way to getting where you need to be and that you're going to get there. And no matter what tries to stop you, you're still going to make it. Because I realized in that season, family, a delay is not a denial. It's just a delay. Now, I could have made a delay a denial had I chose to listen to the things she said, had I chose to just be a failure and feel like a loser because I failed her class, had I decided to be bitter and upset that she helped other students out with their grades and not me. I didn't want to live there because I knew that I wanted more for myself and that no matter what, I was going to make it. You understand what I'm saying? No matter what, you're going to make it. The obstacles will come. You're a champion. Why wouldn't they? Right? You're a champion. And there's always going to be obstacles that come in the way of your journey. Always going to be a story that you're going to have to share when years pass later. And you're going to look back and be like, I'm so happy I made the decision that I made to move forward. Right? People can say what they want. They can do what they want. But at the end of the day, it is just a stepping stone on your way to success. Always remember that. And to this day, it's so funny because she still works at the school I went to. She's still there. She's like head of the department. And I've had an interaction with her in the last 20 years. And she was just so surprised to see that I was successful and that I worked in the company that her, 5-star students who made A's and B's got employed in. And she was just so floored that I became something because she had no expectations of me. And I always thought it was so funny. And the reality is she put her foot in her mouth because not only did I find success in public speaking, but I also found success in that career of IT, right? So just because something may not be working for you at the moment, it doesn't mean it's not working because things are either working on you or they're working for you. But either way, they're working. And I want you to remember that, family. When you encounter people who are haters, right? When you encounter people who want to hold you back for whatever reason, when you encounter setbacks and trials and tribulations, know that you are on your way to greatness and nobody's going to stop you. Not even you. When you are chosen, and I'm going to say this, and I said it before in a past video, when you are chosen, family, you walk a different walk. When you're chosen, you don't have the right to live life on your own terms. Not when you're chosen. When you are chosen, you are chosen. You are marked to do something different and to do something great that the average man has not been called to do. Some of us wonder, why is my life so hard? Why do things feel so challenging for me? Why are things not working out for me? It is because you are chosen. That's why. If you want to live an average life, you can do that. If you want to walk an average walk, you can do that. But you were not built for that, and you know it. You were not built for that. You were not built to be average. You were built to be above average, right? And I'm sure you're thinking in your life like, man, okay, Nicole shared her story. What's my story? I know you can sit and pinpoint a situation that you've been through, several situations that you've been through where people try to hold you back, right? You can think about it in your life where maybe their setback actually did set you back, but that you were able to get up and move forward with your life because you didn't have a choice. Because people who are chosen, as much as you want to be regular, you can't. Tell me I'm lying, right? Tell me I'm lying. People who are chosen, as much as you want to be regular, you can't. Because that's not your calling. You were called and you were designed to be someone great and to go somewhere great and to do something great. That when you move forward from this world, you leave a legacy behind to your family and to the world. That's your calling, right? And you heard it said before, to whom much is given, much is required. When you're given so much, which is your calling, so much is going to be required of you. Mental stability, mental strength, stillness and motion, so many things that the average person is not called for, that they don't have to have the tools and they don't have to be equipped to have the things that you do. You wonder why your life is hard? It's because you are marked, right, to be great. You are marked to be great. And and you look back in your life at all of your challenges and all of your tribulations and tell me I'm lying. You are marked to be great. And in your greatness, right, you learn your lessons along the way. People hurt you. Situations happen. Things come up, but you still make it and you still hold strong because that's who you are, a leader. You're a leader and nothing other than a leader. You can try to be something else, but you can't be something else because you're called to be a leader. So similar to my story, where my teacher, for whatever reason, held me back. Maybe she didn't like me. Maybe I said something or did something, or maybe it was my sheer being, my sheer essence that turned her off, right? Whatever spirits I had going on or whatever spirit she had going on did not match. And she did not like me. And she had the power to hold me back, to make herself feel good. And even in her holding me back, I still move forward. And not only did she hold me back, what she did was a favor because I learned so many lessons in that. And her holding me back allowed me to catapult myself into my life, to catapult myself into my future, and to become the person that I knew I was called to be, challenges and all. So we're not going to allow people to take us back, right? We're not going to allow people to keep us back there. And although they may have the power to hold you back, they may have the power to stand in your way. Know, family, that you have the power to make the decision to keep moving forward in your life, no matter what happens to you, because you are chosen. Let me say that louder for the chosen ones in the back to hear. You have the power to become that great person that you know you're called to be. And nothing and no one is going to stand in your way. They're not going to hold you back. And similar to me, you will live with a story to tell about how you became great in the midst of people holding you back. It was designed for that to happen to you because it didn't happen to you. It happened for you, period. And wherever you are now is a stepping stone to get to where you need to get in the future. It's all happening for you. This is not the stop. This is the beginning. This is a new chapter. We're moving forward, doing new and different things with new and different people on new and different platforms and new and different levels in our lives. And we do not have time to stay where we've been hit down. The only time we have is time for us to move forward into a new future and to do that new thing that we are called to do. No one's going to hold us back. And we're so thankful that we are chosen, because when you're chosen and you honor your calling and you make it to where you need to be, your life is exactly what you want your life. This process that I'm about to share with you, it's called mind storming. So basically what you would do, think of your major goal, and then you're going to formulate that goal into a question. So for example, if one of your major goals is, I would like to have $50,000 more in the bank by the end of the year, then you would formulate that in a question. And then you would say, what would I need to do to have $50,000 more by the end of the year in my bank account, right? And then the second part to this is come up with 20 answers to that question, right? So answers to that question can be, I could get more skills. I could pick up a second job. I could start a business. Just take everything out of your mind that you could possibly think of to answer the question. And really with this process, family, it allows you, 1, to sharpen your mind, 2, to come up with new and different ideas, and 3, it takes you closer to your success and higher income. I tried it. It did work. And what I then did was took those 20 answers to that question and drilled down on those to get closer to my goals. You should try it. Stay inspired. A lot of people will dislike you in public, but secretly admire you in private. And today on this video, I want to share with you 4 reasons why, if you appear to be winning, if you appear to be moving forward in your life, when you're operating in your calling, that is hard for a lot of people. So they dislike you in public, but they secretly admire you, because when you simply look like you're winning, family, that makes a lot of people uncomfortable, because in their minds, they want to be winning, but maybe they don't know how. You're different. Maybe you're going against the grain. Maybe you're moving about life in a different manner than they are. And that's hard for a lot of people. You're putting yourself out there, whether you're starting a business, creating content, anything you're doing to put yourself on a public platform, or anything different you're doing in your life than you did before. They don't like that, because now you're walking on water. It's because you have an unfair advantage. Maybe you are naturally talented in a certain area. Maybe you can sing, or good at nurturing, or good at building a family. A lot of people don't possess that. So they naturally feel a way about you for whatever reason. So a lot of these things, family, that's coming to you has less to do with you, but more to do with them. And I know it doesn't feel good to be disliked. If you can take all that energy they're sending your way and use it to make yourself the best version of yourself that you could possibly be, you will have a lot more admirers than you think. Stay inspired. Hey family, have you ever been in a season in your life where people just treat you all kind of ways? Like they purposely treat you bad. Like you're a good person, but they find a way to prove to you that you're not. Have you ever been in that season where you wonder, it's like, why don't I have any friends? Why doesn't anybody like me? Why is nobody calling me? Family, because you're chosen. Like it's a real thing, because you're chosen. A lot of times people see your greatness, but they don't want to say it. They know your potential, but they don't want you to know your potential. They see it, family. They see it. Sometimes you wonder why you're in these relationships with people, and for whatever reason, they don't like you. They treat you bad. They call you all type of names. They do all type of things. It's because you're chosen. It's just like when you're on a job. You know that you're better than most of the people you work with in terms of the work that you do. You know that you're a great employee, and your boss knows it too. But if he told you that, then they'd have to pay you more. So they're not going to tell you. They're going to keep you exactly where you are. And it's the same thing in real life, in relationships, family. When you're dealing with people and you are the chosen one, they don't want you to know that. They know who you are. That's why they want to be with you. They know how you are. That's why they want to be in your orbit. But all of a sudden they want to act like, you're nothing to them, or you're not important. That is not the case, family. You are everything, and everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. So don't be fooled when people go around and act like they don't know who you are. They know who you are. They know who you are. It's because you're chosen. A lot of times when you're a chosen individual, you just want to make friends like everybody else. You just want to hang with everybody else. You just want to kick it with everybody else. And you're trying to figure out and realize, like, why doesn't anyone want to hang with me? Why don't I have any friends? Why can't I do the same things that everyone else does? And you can't, family. You know why? Because you're called to do something greater. You are called to do something greater. And when you're called to do something greater, family, you have to do something greater. You have to. When you're chosen, you walk a different walk. You move differently. You do things differently than the average typical person does because you're just called to do something different. And I know sometimes you want to feel like, you're a part of the crowd and you're doing what they're doing and you're going where they're going and you're hanging out and you're kicking it. But you can't. Have you ever noticed you in a friendship group, with a whole bunch of people, and you just feel like an outsider? You can be with 10 or 15 different people and you still feel alone, right? You can be in a relationship with somebody and feel like, man, this is a great person, but something is missing, right? You can be on a job and know, man, I just feel like I don't fit here. I've been doing this for so many years, or I just started doing this and I don't fit here because you're chosen. And so people always want to point out your flaws when you're chosen. They always want to reject you every single time. They want to tell you that, oh, you ain't nothing. Who do you think you are? Because they know you're everything. And that sometimes people want to keep you where you are so that you don't leave their lives. They want to keep you where you are because they don't want you to leave them. They don't want you to leave them, family. Because the reality is they have never met anyone like you and never will. And that's how you should feel about yourself. They never, ever, ever will meet anybody like you. They won't. And sometimes I try to tell you when you're chosen, oh, you ain't this, or you'll never be that, or there are several yous. I'll meet someone like you tomorrow. They won't, right? And so that's why, we wonder why when we're chosen, sometimes you walk alone, you do things alone, even when you're married, even if you're in the career of your dreams, you tend to be a loner, right? You tend to move to the beat of your own drum because there are very few people in this world that understand you, very few. And the people that you meet that are similar to you and like you are far, few, and in between, family. And you know it, right? You know it. And I know it's hard when people try to play you, right? They try to play you like you're stupid or talk to you like they don't know who you are. It gets really hard. And that's only because they want to water you down to the level that they are on. They want to water you down because you know that when you get in any friendship circle, you force people to come up and rise to the occasion, right? When you are friends with somebody, they have no choice but to become a better person. You elevate everybody in your life. You raise everybody's temperature and they know it. So they call you names. You think you're better. You're arrogant. We don't like you. Who do you think you are? No, it's because they feel like you're better. They truly love you. They admire you in private, but dislike you in public. And if they had the opportunity, they would be you, or they would be very close to you, or they would want to be similar to you. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Look at your life. Look at all the people in your past that have hurt you, people you have had situations with in the past, and tell me that I am wrong. Family, they know who you are. The question is, do you know who you are? And I remember years ago, I was listening to the sermon. I think it was T.D. Jakes, and he was saying, we sit here and we pray for lesser than what we already are. And we pray for lesser than what we already have. Because sometimes, family, we don't know who we are. We don't. Because we allow people to treat us any type of way. We allow people to disrespect us because we don't know. We don't know that we're different. If an eagle grew up with chickens, how does he know he's an eagle when he's always been on the ground? Unless somebody comes and shows him who he truly is. And family, you know who you are. And you've had a season in your life where you figured out who you were real quick, didn't you? I know I did. You figured out who you were real quick. And you got to that point in your life where you said, you know what? No more. I'm not going to allow anybody to treat me less than what I am. I am not going to allow anybody to treat me worse than I treat myself, and I treat myself good, right? Sometimes we wonder why our phones are not ringing. We got these dry phones. Nobody's calling us. We have no one to call us, no one to go out with, no one to hang out with. When we do call people, they're not available, and we're wondering why. Family, it's because you're chosen. Your life is marked for greatness, and your season will come. If it hasn't come already, your season will come, and you will know that what I'm saying is real because your season will come, family. These people come to hurt you and disrespect you and make you feel like you're less than and that you're nobody and like they don't want to hang with you and they don't want to talk to you, so they reject you. Family, it is because you're great. You're great. And this is not the season to allow anyone to make you feel like you are less than what you are, because you're great. You are, family. And at the end of the day, as we move forward in this life, we have to know and understand who we are. So what? Your phone is dry, no one's calling you. So what? You're not in a relationship. So what? You're rejected. Family, everything is going to come full circle for you. And you're going to be so thankful that you are where you are in your future. And you're going to be so thankful that those people that you thought could come along with you on that ride is no longer here, because you never needed them. Because they were not designed to go the whole way with you. They were not designed to go the whole course. Family, when you are called to do something new and different with your life, when you are called to be chosen, when your life is marked, I always say that you don't have the right to live life on your own terms. Meaning, when you're called to do something great, you can't just go out willy-nilly and kick it. You can't just go hang with a certain group. You can't just talk to anyone on the phone. You're a brand, and you have to look at yourself as a personal brand. You can't call Gucci and say, hey, can I speak to the CEO? Because those people aren't easily attainable, and neither are you. Not in this season. Not in the season when we're growing, becoming better, doing more, trying to achieve more, wanting to aspire to be great and to have more. Family, know who you are. You are great. And a lot of times we water down who we are. Know who you are. You're not going to allow anyone to make you feel a way that you don't feel about yourself. You're not going to allow anyone to come into your life and water you down, water down your brand, because you are great. You are. And you know it. And sometimes we don't know how to show it. We know we're great, but we don't know how to show it because we got these people in our life that are rejecting us, not wanting to hang with us, friends that we've known for years that are no longer friends, people we were in relationship with, married to, that are no longer you're in partnership with them. It's because things are being stripped away, family. Things are being stripped away because you are called for greater. Things are being stripped away because you are moving up, onward and onward to becoming a better version of yourself every single time, family. You're not in a season where you're going to allow anybody to take you down through there. That's what I like to say. You're not going to allow anybody to take you down through there. Listen, you have a destiny to fulfill. You have a huge life ahead of you and in front of you. You are creating and co-creating your life. You are moving forward, and I hate to be this passionate in this video, but I want you to know how serious this is, family. You are charting the course of a great and bright future for you, for your family, for all those that you have custodial duty over and charge over. You are moving forward in your life. And this is not the time to allow what a person is doing to take you backwards. I know that it hurts, but in this season, you're charting forward. And you're blazing a new trail. They're not calling your phone. So what? You didn't hear from them. So what? Because the reality is they didn't hear from you. Because you're moving on with your life, upward, onward, and onward, and becoming that best version of yourself every single time. And nobody's going to stop you. It doesn't matter what they say about you. It doesn't matter what they think about you. And it doesn't matter because it can't matter. It can't matter. Not in this season, family. You're in the season of inspiration, moving on. You're in the season of saying to people, you know what? I don't like the way you treated me. I don't like what you just said to me. You're not allowed to come in and out of my life the way you're doing it. And family, as much as it hurts, trust, know, and understand that this is a process and there is a plan for your life to move forward and to do more and to have more and to be more, because that's exactly what you're doing. It's exactly what you're doing. You wonder why people aren't calling you. You wonder why no one wants to be your friend. You wonder why nobody likes you, why they're rejecting you. They're doing it because you're chosen. And I want you to understand that, family. I want you to understand that when you are chosen, family, and I'm not even just talking, I'm being real. When you are chosen, your life is not like everybody else's life. You are actually called to actual greatness. They're not calling your phone. It's cool. It's all a part of the plan, because something better and someone better is always waiting for you around the corner. Something and someone is always waiting for you. And I want you to know that. And I want you to trust the process. And I don't want you to give up, because I want you to understand that it's all designed to make you better. It's all designed to make you great. Nothing is going to stop you. You are on your verge to greatness. You're on your way to greatness. So what? They haven't called you back. So what? You haven't heard from the people you want to hear from. So what? Things you feel in this season aren't working out for you. Family, no, it's not falling apart. It's falling together. They may have rejected you. They said something to hurt you. I want you to know and understand that, again, it's all designed to make you better. You are the chosen one. You will win. You will never lose, because it's not designed for you to lose. It's designed for you to win every single time. And I want you to know and believe that as you're on your journey. Know and believe and trust that as you're on your journey, everything good, everything noble, everything beautiful is coming to you, and everything in your life that you do not need is being stripped away. All the layers are being stripped away off of you and out of your life, and you're coming out of your shell. It's a transfiguration, a whole transfiguration, and you're becoming the person that you've always aspired to be, and you're becoming the person that you've always been called to be. I'll wait. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Because at the end of the day, when these individuals come in your life and they try to reject you and hurt you and tell you who you're not and tell you what they think you are, family, that's all game. Because at the end of the day, they know you're great. But if they told you you're great, then they would have to treat you better. If they told you you were great on the job, then they would have to pay you more. If they told you you were great in your relationship, then they would have to hold you to a higher standard than they do. So they'd rather keep you down. But nobody keeps you down because you're chosen. Always remember that, family. I want you to remember every single thing that I'm telling you right now. When a situation comes up and they start acting funny and they start rejecting you and treating you wrong and disrespecting you, understand and know you are chosen. And when you walk the way is being made for you every single time. You're moving forward. You're charting a path forward, and you are not looking back ever. And all the things happening in your life, you're quieting the noise because you're not listening to it. Because this is not the season for you to lose your head. This is the season for you to remain, to stay, and to be chosen. We know who you are. They know who you are. But the question is, do you know who you are? So what? You got a dry phone. So what? They're not calling you. So what? When your season comes, everyone's going to call you. Everything in your life that you think you lost is coming. Every person, everything, every situation, everything is working out for you. It's all coming together for you, and you have to know it, and you have to trust it, and you have to move as is. You are great. You have to move like you're great. Have the energy like you're great. Move and live your life as greatness, because that's what you are. And trust and know and believe that they know who you are. When they mistreat you, disrespect you, say hurtful things, you have a dry phone, they don't like you, they're not talking to you, they don't want to be your friend, they know who you are. And you, by nature, naturally make people feel uncomfortable just because of who you are. Your mere presence irritates people's spirits. Your mere presence does. When you walk in a room, they're hating. Listen, chosen people are beautiful, they're sexy, they're amazing, they're everything. They're always hated. Everyone can't be you, because everyone isn't called to walk your walk. Everyone isn't called to do what you do. Everyone is not called to be who you are. They say that they don't like you. They say that they don't want to be in your life anymore. They say that they no longer want anything to do with you. They say that they don't like you. They don't want you at their job. They don't want you in their... Listen, it doesn't matter what they say, because you know who you are, don't you? You know you are great. You know you are chosen. You know you are aspiring to be more, to do more, and to have more. It's not the time for you to worry about what they're saying about you. It's not the time for you to concern yourself with what they're saying. It is time for you to move forward in your life. Time to move forward in your life. Everything that you want, let me get closer. Every single thing that you want in your life is coming to you. And I mean that. Every person, every situation, the finances, the business, the career, the health, the children, whatever it is that you want in your life, you have to trust and know it's coming to you because it is. And when people try to reject you and hurt you and say mean things, trust and know, family. Trust and know that you are great. And that's on facts. Stay inspired. Hey, family. A lot of times we're out here moving like and acting like we're common. And there is nothing common about us. Family, everything you do is uncommon. Everywhere you go, every person you interact with, every environment you're in, you set the tone for something new and different. When you go in somebody's life, you make their life better. When you leave their life, they feel it. How you move at your job, on your day-to-day, there is nothing average about you. And average is the enemy. It really is, because average has people who are uncommon feeling like they're common. There's nothing common about you. Every single thing that you do is to make everybody and everything and everyone around you great. Every single thing that you do. And you have to carry that energy, and you have to know it, and you have to believe it, because you are not common. You are created to live a big life. You're created to dream big. You're created to have way more that you think you can ever have, and to do way more that you think you can ever do. And you have to believe it. I feel like sometimes the friends that we keep, the environments that we surround ourselves in, the places that we go keep us down and keep us low and keep us level. But family, know, trust, and believe that everything that you do, your essence, who you are, is above average. And never ever allow anyone to treat you like you're common, because you're not. And I don't say this with any arrogance. You are not a commoner, because common people don't do uncommon things. Common people don't do phenomenal things. And everything about you is great. Every single thing about you is great. You are phenomenal. And when you're uncommon, you got to start moving like you're not common. You got to start carrying that energy. You have to get into that space where you tell people, you know what? I don't like the way you treat me. I don't like the way you talk to me. I'm not going to do that today. That is not something I'm interested in. Because when you're uncommon, you know you stand out from the rest. You know you're different. Have you ever had people in your life tell you, it's something about you? Ever since you were little, you always did this. Or ever since you were little, you always did that. Family, that's because they can see greatness in you. And I feel like so many times we get caught up in situations where we forget who we are. We forget the greatness that we have within us. We forget the strength that we have within us. We forget that we are phenomenal people. But we acquiesce into thinking that we are just common. And there's nothing wrong with common people. You know what I mean? It takes all to run the world, but you're just not a common person. And you know when you're different, and you know when you're above average, and you know when you're cut from a different cloth, you naturally are called to do something better. You naturally are called to do something greater. And I've said it before, people will purposely reject you. People will purposely hurt you. People will purposely keep you small because they don't want you to know how great you are, but they know how great you are. They know how great you are. And your mere presence makes people feel uncomfortable. You coming into an environment moves the room. You going into anything changes the course of everything. You being in people's lives change the trajectory of their lives for better. I'll go as far as to say that when you go in someone's life, you change the trajectory of their life for better. Family, there is nothing uncommon about you. Stop moving stop acting like you're common. You are not common. You are very, very, very uncommon. You are phenomenal and you are great. And don't allow anyone to take that energy from you. You know who you are. Stay inspired. Hey, family. So I was listening to a podcast and it said, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. If you work hard on your job, then you can make a living. But if you work harder on yourself, then you can make a fortune. And family, that got me thinking. And my thought was, what if your income is primarily determined on what you believe about yourself? What if your belief in self is what drives your income, drives your ability to be a high income earner, drives your ability to solve problems, making you receive more income and more money? What if you believe that you are a co-creator of your life, right? What if you believe that you and God are creating this wonderful and beautiful life that you are deserving of? Because family, when you believe in yourself, you believe all things to be true for yourself. When you believe in yourself, you believe that life can be better than it is now. When you believe in yourself, you believe that you can defeat and defy all odds when you believe in yourself. So sometimes it's not just coming out of a bad situation, getting more money that can increase our money. It can also be us increasing our skills and us increasing the belief that we have in ourselves. If we're co-creating our lives, family, then we have the power to make the decisions and to do the things and to create a path and a way for us to find success in life and for us to live this wonderful, beautiful, everlasting life. Because if you believe in yourself, if you believe in who you are, if you believe that you can do all things, if you believe that you are co-creating your life, then family, then it is true for you that success is something that you attract by becoming an attractive person. If you believe in yourself and all things are coming to you, all good things, and you're attracting everything that you need to you, you don't have to go anywhere. It's going to come to you, right? So when you shift your mindset and understand that working hard on yourself, it's what's going to attract more income, that increasing your skill set, increasing the belief you have in yourself is going to attract all the things you need in your life, then family, you will increase, not just in finances, but increase in all areas in your life. Because success, not just something that you have to work hard for. It's not just something that you have to really, really work hard for. It can also be something that you are attracting to yourself. Success is something that you are attracting to yourself by becoming an attractive person. How do you become an attractive person? You believe in yourself, right? You act as if. You manifest and do the things that you need to do to get you to where you need to be. That's how you become a more attractive person, right? You can do the things to build your knowledge, increase your skill set. You can read, you can watch more podcasts, you can journal. You can do an activity that I call mindstorming, where it's like, think of your goal. If your goal is to make more money, you can take that goal of making more money and formulating it into a question and say, how do I make more money? And once you formulate your goal into a question, you then come up with 5 answers to that question. So if your question is, how do I make more money? Then you could say things like, I could increase my skill set. I can go back to school. I can pick up work. I can learn more. You are coming up with answers to your question. And all that is doing is sharpening your mind. And now you're walking the way. And when you walk the way is made. And now you're creating a path forward to get to where you need to be because you're unstoppable. And that is how you become an attractive person, because now you're attracting all new things, new ideas, new avenues, new ways to get to where you need to be. Family, when you work harder on yourself than you are on your job, you're believing in yourself that you have what it takes. By putting in the time and by putting in the effort and knowing and understanding, family, that you have everything that you need, that you have everything that you need on the inside to get to where you need to be. And that you are becoming a more attractive person each and every day, because you're taking each and every day to continue to work harder on yourself, to continue to do the things that you need to do to get to where you need to be. We understand and know that you have to work hard on your job, but please do not forget, in your working hard on your job, that you must put forth some of that effort into working harder on yourself so that you can attract the life that you want, attract the circumstances that you want, and live the life that you know you're deserving of living. Just something to think about, family. Stay inspired. Hey, family. I believe in a lot of cases that average is the enemy. And I believe that, family, because so many of us are moving like and acting like we're common, and there's nothing common about us. And I believe that in order to live above average, you have to use your mind to change your life. You have to teach your body emotionally what a good and new future would feel like ahead of the experience. And that's why average is the enemy, because it takes an above average person to be able to do that. So these are some ways, family, that I learned that you can use your mind to change your life. The first one is you have to transform your negative self-talk. When we say these things about ourselves, oh, I'm so stupid. I can't believe I forgot that. I'm so horrible with names. I used to be a bad person. I don't make good decisions. That is negative self-talk. And the reality is, family, when you're talking, you are listening to you. You are listening to you. So you have to be more mindful and you have to be careful of the things that you are saying because you are listening to you. And it's very important to consider the things that we're saying even to ourselves. The other thing I learned, family, is we have to change our limiting beliefs. What are limiting beliefs? Beliefs that we believe that make us limited, make us feel limited, that we can't get where we need to be, that we can't have what we need to have. We are limiting ourselves to believing that we can't have the thing that we want to have and that we can't be the thing that we want to be. And that is so far from true, family. You can do anything you put your mind to. You can accomplish anything, words that you put your mind to. So you have to get out of these limiting beliefs because it's the limiting beliefs that are holding us down and keeping us back. Another thing I learned, family, in regards to changing your life by changing your mindset is your feeling states are important. Your feeling states, the way you feel, how you feel about yourself, how you feel in your environment. Your feeling states are so important. And they're important because you can't think greater than you feel. You can't think greater than you feel. And our feelings have become the means of thinking. By the very definition of emotions, you're thinking in the past, family. And if you're constantly thinking in the past, you're going to create the same life. And I learned, family, just listening to thought leaders, that thoughts are the language of the brain and feelings are the language of the body. And how you think and how you feel plays a major role in your life, in your personality, how you move, how you grow. Another lesson I learned, family, that helped me is a process called mindstorming. What is mindstorming? It's similar to brainstorming, where you think of a lot of ideas. But mindstorming is, let's say you have a goal and your goal is to make $30,000 a year, right? You would take that goal and formulate it into a question and come up with answers. So for example, if my goal is to make $30,000 a year, I would say, what do I have to do to make $30,000 a year? And then I come up with solutions to that question. So it could be increase my skill set. It could be go back to school. It could be pick up a second job. It could be start a business. I go down the list of things I can do to get me closer to meeting my goal of making $30,000 more a year. But as you're doing this, family, you're sharpening your mind. You're strengthening yourself. You're coming up with new ideas. You're coming up with solutions, and you're feeling inspired because you're bringing that future state into the present. And now you're feeling good and you're motivated and you're giving yourself that energy that you need to move forward. And last but not least, family, I would say, focus on the things that you can control. A lot of us, we focus on so many things, 10, 15, 20 things at a time. I have to do this and I have to pick up this and I have to work this. No, you have to narrow your focuses down, maybe to 1 to 2 to 3 things, and focus on what you can control in the moment, right? We know we can't control people, so that already eliminates a lot. We know that we can only control the things that are within our control. And when we do that, family, it really helps us to get organized and to stay focused and to stay present. So in order to live above average, family, we have to use our minds. And we have to use our minds so that we can strengthen our minds and shape our minds and increase our thought process for better thoughts and belief in ourselves, and get rid of these limiting beliefs so that we can move forward and change our lives for the better, family. Just something to think about. Stay inspired. Hey, family. So I am a huge book reader, right? I've always been this way. And in reading all of these books, I learned so many lessons. So I'm going to share with you 11 lessons that I've learned that have made the rich, wise, and successful. Lesson number 1, we get out of life what we think we deserve. A lot of our lives is spent in the same pattern, doing the same things over and over and over again. And a lot of this is because we allow our past to dictate our future. But family, when you start to do the things that other people are not willing to do, then you tend to get the things that other people are not willing to get. And that's the very point, family, where you start to feel like you are so deserving of so much more. And I learned just in my own life that you will never exceed your own self-worth. Lesson number 2, do the things other people are not willing to do. Take that leap, right? Take that risk. Go for it. Accomplish that goal. Do the thing that is outside of your comfort zone, because anything outside of your comfort zone almost always is where the magic happens. Lesson number 3, just because you can't see it does not mean that it is not there. Family, how many things are there in our minds that we know that we want to accomplish? Maybe we can see ourselves in a business. We can see ourselves in a new life. We can see ourselves doing a new thing. Just because we can't see it doesn't mean it's not there. And I always say, family, every single thing is happening behind the scenes. Everything you're doing, every decision you're making, every goal you're setting is taking you closer to get to that thing that you want in your life. But you have to believe it and know, just because you can't see it does not mean that it is not there. Lesson number 4, almost everything is done better when it is done calmly. Y'all, how many decisions have we made based on our emotions, right? And oftentimes, where does that take us? Not in a good place. When you make decisions in a calm mind, when you do things with a calm spirit, you tend to get a better outcome than you would when you're doing it based on emotion or based on something, dealing with a negative energy that you don't necessarily live in on a typical day. It's just a feeling state, right? And I understand that emotions do serve their purpose, but it's not allowing the emotions to overwhelm you. Lesson number 5, you do not have to believe everything that you think. You don't. Sometimes we get these thoughts in our heads that tell us to do certain things and make certain decisions. And family, just because you think it does not mean it's true. It doesn't. A lot of times our minds are playing tricks on us. Lesson number 6 that I learned from the wise. If nothing changes, then nothing changes, right? If nothing changes, then nothing changes. We have to be the ones in our own lives to create the change that we are seeking. Because if nothing changes, nothing changes. Lesson number 7 that I learned. People don't see things the way they are. People see things the way they are. Our perspectives from where we stand is exactly how we see a thing. Lesson number 8. All of us are self-made, but only the successful will admit it, right? Who wants to admit that their life is where it is because of their own doing, right? Who wants to take responsibility and accountability for their failures? Most people don't. But it's the successful person that can say, you know what? Everything is my fault. I am directly responsible for what happens in my life. I am where I am in my life based on the things that I've done in my past and the decisions I've made and are currently making. Lesson number 9. There are 3 kinds of people in life. Those that make things happen, those that watch things happen, and those that don't know what happened. And I learned, family, when you want to make things happen, you have to change your behaviors. You have to change your strategies in order to reinvent your life. So it all starts with making a decision to change. Lesson number 10, average is the enemy and success is your responsibility. So many of us fall into mediocrity, meaning we wake up, we do the same things that we did the day before. We think the same thoughts that we thought yesterday, essentially making our yesterday our today. So we can't think anything new and we can't do anything new in our day because we're not opening the space in our minds and our bodies to create something new. But success is our responsibility. Again, stepping outside of that comfort zone, making a decision to do something new and different. That is when change truly happens for your life. That's when you elevate. And lesson number 11, it is okay to let go of what you had in mind. Sometimes, we say things like, I'm 50 and I'm not where I need to be. I'm 40 and I have no children. I'm 30 and I'm not married. I'm 20 and I'm not successful. I'm 70 and I haven't made it. We spend so much time thinking about what our lives should be and what our lives should look like. And we don't realize and understand that everything happens in the time that it's supposed to. Of all of the books that I've read, of all of the wisdom that I've learned, I come to the understanding that we have to let go of what we had in mind. Meaning, we set our goals, we set our intentions, and then we have to find a way to not be married to the outcome, right? Because the outcome is going to be what it is. But when we set our goals and we set our intentions, we let it go and know and trust that what will be, and everything will happen for us in the time that it's supposed to. So family, I hope these 11 lessons that I share with you can help you and inspire you to read more books, gain more wisdom, gain more knowledge, and more importantly, just really apply this to your life so that you can become a better person. Stay inspired. I have spent so much time in my life focused on circumstances. Am I going to hear back from them? They didn't call. What if this doesn't work? What if things don't go my way? Just all of that unnecessary energy going out. And I realize, family, circumstances don't matter because they can't matter. Not in this season. And not even to be mean, but circumstances can't matter because in order for us to regulate our nervous system, in order for us to have emotional stability, circumstances can't matter. And they also can't matter because we can't worry about what other people are doing. People change their minds every day about who they want to be, who they want to be with, what they want to do. We can't control people. And when I took my energy back from focusing on those people and those things, and I got rid of all that anxiety and that worry, I took all my energy back, and that was energy for me to heal. And once I persisted in the knowing that every single thing that I wanted me, once I became that better version of myself, everything I wanted came to me. So think about some areas in your life, family, where you're sending unnecessary energy and worry, and pull that energy back and realize that whatever the circumstance is, not that it doesn't matter, but it can't matter, so that we can be healthy and move about on our day-to-day becoming better people, so that we can be healthy and become a better version of ourselves. Just something to think about, family. Stay inspired. It is very possible to design and live an extraordinary life. And do you believe that to be true for yourself, family? Do you believe that you can design and create the life that you've always wanted to live? Do you believe that you can supersede your belief process? Do you believe that you can have all the things that you want to have? And do you believe that you can do all the things that you want to do? And I know it to be true, and I know it can happen, family. And it first starts with belief in your mind, belief that you can be this person that you know you're called to be. And then it starts with the actions that you take and how you move about in your day-to-day life. Just something to think about, family. Stay inspired. When you decide to do something new and different with your life, one of the very first things that show up is an obstacle. And I learned, family, that there is no champion with no challenge. There's always going to be a challenge. So know that if you see obstacles and things in the way and things blocking your path, know that you're on the right path and keep moving forward because it's all going to work out for you. Just something to think about. Stay inspired.